first question we usually ask everyone is, this the hangover part one?
Yeah, this is a weird feeling. You get into your routine for 7 months, 8 months, whatever it was, and obviously the playoff run, everything's heightened a little bit, and you fight to the end. I actually drove up the ramp today thinking we had practice, so tough feeling, but we'll have time to think about how great of a season we had, and just the starting stones for next year.
How much will you stay in contact with all these guys, or does everybody just, how do you keep that bond together during the off time?
And just stay in touch. I mean, we're all friends off the court. Obviously, everybody has their own things going on, families, vacations, or what have you, to kind of relax after the long, grueling season. But we stay in touch. Guys will be in and out of town, working out, and we'll see each other probably in Vegas for summer league and all that. So we'll stay in touch and keep the chemistry going, and whoever is back next year and the newcomers will be ready to go come September. So hopefully, like I said, the identity that we've built over the course of this season and the work we've put in will set us up for some more success next year.
It's been a long time since your summer hadn't been getting your ankles fixed. What will you work on now that you've been working on your game?
I work on getting stronger, continue to work on my body. The more minutes you play and the more grind and physical play you endure throughout the course of the season, you have to recharge and get your body right for the next season. So be in that weight room and conditioning and that kind of deal, and also on the court. Hopefully that will allow me to play stronger on the court, and I can get to the free throw line a little more. That's the biggest adjustment I want to try to make next year. I shoot the ball so well that sometimes you fall in love with it and think that it'll get you out of certain situations, but learn throughout this playoff series that you can't rely on that, and that being able to get to the foul line and get easy points in the paint and that kind of deal will stop the bleeding on certain runs that teams have, and put yourself and your team in good positions to not have lulls offensively. So that's a big deal for me.
It's interesting you say that, because I think a lot of people would say that the Warriors probably maybe need to develop more of an inside component to go with that tremendous outside component that you have. And it sounds like from what you're saying, that inside component can come from within, from a change in acquiring of skills this summer, or a change of strategy when you're playing. Is that an accurate
for
statement?
sure. Obviously, trying to bring in guys. We added Carl Andrew, who's a dominant guy on the post that can get to the foul line. That was a big adjustment, but you have to have 1 through 5 guys that can attack the paint, not settle, and obviously we're going to still shoot jump shots. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's the strength of ours. I think that'll stay the same, but certain periods of the game, as we get smarter as a team and go through different situations, being able to add that skill. I think it is a skill. Add that to your repertoire, being able to be effective in the paint and get easy buckets. That'll make us even better as a team.
You did that last night. I mean, 5 driving layups? I mean, or whatever those circus things were you were doing.
Yeah, still shot 0 free throws, so we got to do something better to try to sell those calls, get to the free throw line, and you saw how Tony Park had a tough game shooting the ball. He shot 6 free throws and got a rhythm and was able to knock down 2 big threes down the stretch. So you learn from those kind of players and figure out how to make your game better.
When you get people on the perimeter kind of pump fake, you usually drive instead of taking the contact like Kevin Martin. Is that instinct, or is that a conscious choice?
It's instinct. Sometimes you don't think you'll be able to get the call because they might have jumped a certain way, and you don't want to put yourself in a tough situation by going all out for that call, and then if you don't get it, you're stuck. So you try to. If I pump fake, I feel like I have the advantage. I can make a play going to the basket. So that's kind of my mindset when you're in that situation.
You expect him to be a marked man next year?
What does that mean? No, I mean, I'm sure defenses will study this season, and all the film coaches that will be preparing for next year, and how how to guard us as a team and me individually. So I'll be doing the same thing and trying to elevate my game to another level, so that any kind of adjustment they make and any defender they throw on you, I'll be able to find a way to be effective. So you have to assume that from day one, from game one next year, that there will be a lot of attention thrown at you.
What kind of veteran presence do you think there will be at Summer League in terms of, of course, none of you guys are playing, I would imagine, but you guys are going down there to do what? To help out at practices and things like that?
Just to be present. I think that's a big thing for young guys and our rookies who will be playing this coming summer, to just know that we're invested in the team and them as individuals, and just being around with the encouragement and support. I think that goes a long way.
Do you know what kind of turnout you'll have?
I expect a lot of people. I think last year was probably 6 or 7 guys. I missed it. My baby's being born then, so I wasn't able to travel. But this summer, I think there'll be a lot of guys. Maybe not for the whole time, but we just watch 2 or 3 games and encourage our young guys to keep working. And actually, I'll probably try to work out with them while they're here before they go out there, just to work on my game too.
Steph, you've mentioned the chemistry of this team. Everybody's mentioned chemistry. When the front office looks at ads or subtractions, how important do you think it has to be for them to think about chemistry almost first and foremost? I
think you showed this year that it's a big factor from the top down, from Coach Jackson through all his staff and through our players. The vibe in our locker room was real energetic and fun and real personable, I think, from day one. And that gets you through a lot of tough times where, in hard times, it might be, common nature for guys to kind of do their own thing and split up and become silent, but we kind of forge together in those tough situations. I think the chemistry of our team helped us do that. We go on a 6-game slide and everybody thinks we're the worst team in the league. We found a way to get through that and obviously make something special towards the end of the season. So I'm sure that'd be a big factor for them, whatever they do, to make sure that locker room is the same.
Can you talk with Jared and Carl? Do you expect them back? Do you have a feeling for how that's going to work out?
I want them back. And they're great teammates. They've added a lot to us as a team, and what we were trying to do. Their strengths really helped us throughout the course of the season. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's a little unknown, but I know that I heard Jack say he wants to be back here, and so does Carl. So, but they have to make decisions, that are right for them and their families, and you hope that's here. But you just have to wait and see.
Will you have a conversation with these guys in the coming weeks about their situations?
If they want to, I'm sure they want to, vent a little bit or talk about the various options that they may have when that comes around. And like I said, we're friends off the court, so you want a friend's opinion in those certain situations. So I'm sure they'll talk about it. We have talked about it before. But once again, it's a decision that they have to make personally, and you just hope it works out for the best.
So you think that's something that you would wait for them to come to you? You wouldn't pursue it, that conversation on your own?
Well, I've dropped lines to Jack all on the way. That this is a place for him. He's bounced around a lot, and for him to hopefully find a home here for the foreseeable future would be huge. And I know he wants to be a part of a winning team, and I think that we have that here now, and can continue to build on the foundations we started this year. So if he's a part of that, that'd be huge.
Can you talk about Coach Mike Malone? There's a lot of talk about he might be head coach material. What's his impact here?
He's a great coach.
And is he a head coach material?
He's a great coach. He's I think he's been slated as one of the best assistant coaches for a while, and been doing those interviews every summer. You just hope the right situation comes along for a guy like that.
But what does he bring? Is it just total defense?
No, he's a well-rounded coach that knows the game, and you see that throughout the course of the season. Coach Jackson and his whole staff, the level of expertise they have when it comes to the film study and getting us prepared. I think it should show in the progress and the progress and I guess the strengths that we've been able to show as a team defensively and the adjustments we've been able to make from year to year have come from all those guys, and Coach Malone is a part of that. So you wish the best for him if he's going after those jobs, because that's, I know, any coach's dream. But if he's back here, that'd be huge for us.
Where does this need to get better to take the next couple steps?
I mean, just consistency with our defensive effort, and I think, like I said, when our offense, our shots are falling, find a way to manufacture offense and get to the foul line more. I think that's a huge thing that can't be overlooked. Like I said, we're a strong jump shooting team with some low post presence, but to be able to when defense is tightened up and intensity picks up and the game slows down a little bit, to be able to still find a way to be effective on the offense, man. I think we have the personnel to do it as is. We just have to pay attention to detail when it comes to adjustments. I think so. I mean, we're young and we have a great core. And for us to be able to get to the level we were this year, 2 wins away against the Spurs to get to the Western Conference Finals, you feel like you have that kind of confidence to do it and the right pieces to do it. Obviously, it takes a lot of things going right for anybody to win a championship, but I feel like we have the pieces to do it.
It seems like you became a star with Jackson. Was there anything different that he did, different from what Keith Smart did to help enable that?
I mean, that's tough to say. I was a young player, and after my rookie year, and I was battling an ankle injury from then on. So this is the first year I've been healthy throughout the course of the season to be able to get better and gain confidence individually. But Coach Jackson has been huge and just encouraging me and instilling that confidence in me that I'm a bad man, as he says, to go out there and just play like it. Regardless of what happens, he has the faith and trust to put the ball in my hands and make plays. And it's my job to go out there and make him look good. And you appreciate that from any coach. So as long as I can figure out a way to just stay healthy and continue to be on the floor, I think good things will happen.
Steph, if Bogut's healthy, how much of an impact can he have on this team? Because that's what
you saw it in the playoffs. I mean, there's no denying the fact that how his presence in the paint on both ends, boosted our defensive effort. And I know it was a tough year for him, battling through so many different treatments and therapies, trying to get back and then having setbacks and missing a big chunk of games early in the season. But he still found a way to be present and effective when we needed him the most down the stretch. And if we can have him for the maximum amount of games we can get out of him, it's going to be huge, just the way that he can dominate. We don't have to double team the post. He can play one-on-one. He can rebound. He can block shots, take charges. He can pass the ball on the other end. I'm sure he'll get his offensive touch back when we can throw a post-up possession for him. So he does a lot of things that we need.
How does this season end compared to all the others here at Golden State?
It's actually, this is like the hardest ending we had to go through, because obviously the playoffs, you don't know when it's going to end. It's not like you're counting down the days to game 82 or 66 even last year, that you knew that was the last game. But we were very disappointed that it ended the way it did on our home court and second round against a good Spurs team that we felt like we had the chance to beat and move on to the Western Conference Finals, and that was an expectation we had. So to for it not to pan out that way, it's tough to deal with. But you have to be encouraged with the progress we made as a team, and looking ahead to next year, it's going to be even better.
Is there any relief that it's over to rest up?
I mean, I woke up this morning hurting, and you're happy that, I guess I don't say you're happy, I guess there's a little bit of relief that you don't have to grind these ankles anymore. But on the other token, I wouldn't mind, coming to practice today, going through drills and getting ready for Game 7. You had to, take the situation for what it is, but looking forward to not having any pain right now.
You guys over the years have always had to find reasons to celebrate, whether it was Nelly's coaching victory or how different is it when you have a legitimate reason to celebrate?
It's fun. It's what you work for, and even just looking up at the board over here, there's no all-star skills challenge title. There's no three-point participation, dunk contest stuff. There's team goals that every team strives for when they suit up in preseason, gearing up for the journey to the playoffs and that kind of deal. And for a Warriors team to be where we were, it's not very often. So you appreciate the experiences we went through, and I think, like I said, with the core that we have and the leadership from the front office and our coaching staff, I mean, we're in a good place right now, and you can't help but be excited about taking that next step next year, and the challenges that'll bring also, but trying to live up to that pressure.
How much did last night's celebration or homage to the fans, did you have planned? Was it just spontaneous? And can you take us through that?
We didn't have nothing planned. We were planning on Game 7.
There you go.
No, but actually everybody walked in the tunnel, and Coach Jackson stopped for a second, and I saw Jared walk back, and the fans were still cheering. And we just want to let them know how genuinely appreciative we were. That every time we stepped in the Oracle, we knew it was going to be loud and it was going to be raucous, and it was going to be a fun atmosphere to play in. So to huddle up as a team at half court and hear the chants and me give my little speech just to thank the fans and break it down for the season, that was fun. And you just want to give something back to the fans for their support all year.
So when you guys win Game 1, I think you win the series.
Looking back, I mean, it puts us in a lot better shape to that would have been a closeout game for us, I guess, at home. So things might have been gone differently. Like I said, we fought hard to the finish, and we're not going to nitpick on what happened that last 3 minutes of that 4 or 5 minutes of that game. There's a lot of other things to be excited about and be proud about than to worry about that.
When you walk down the street, do more people notice you than a month ago? Like, do you sense that at all?
A little bit. I see a lot more yellow shirts, so I'm sure people are still in Warriors kind of frame of mind. So still some people look and don't actually think it's me. I guess I don't know if my appearance isn't like an NBA player, the typical NBA player. So like, but I have been those, a couple, frequently a little more than usual.
What's a typical NBA player look like?
Just big burly, 6'7". What's the average height for NBA players? Like 6'7", 6'8". Physically dominating appearance. I don't have that, so I still look like I'm 18. So.